What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Omniheroes video. Alright guys, if you guys have been playing this game from when I started at least, you probably have unlocked a brand new arena mode, and I want to talk about it and why it's so important to do well here. And then also we're going to make a video on the labyrinth because you guys can see here I am now on hard mode, and I've been, I think, my third or fourth one now. So I'll be making a video on that and how to tackle that as well, because a lot of you are having problems, and I'll explain to you the strategy behind that. And then lastly, we're going to be doing more tier lists on the other synergy, so hold on to that. I'll be pushing for that as well too. Now for the arena mode though, it's the Yggradsil Supremacy. This is going to be a tiered up arena event where you start off in Helheim 1, 2, then move over to Svartalfheim, and then we'll go to Midgard, and eventually you're going to hit Alfheim, and then Asgard eventually, right where the gods are. So where Odin and everybody is. So this is going to be quite the journey to go up there. Now the way you're going to tackle this is you're going to be getting yourself some of these golden leaves, which you can change in the Yggdrasil shop, and then also some of these enchant orbs, which are super important to enchant your gear. So that's going to push your account even further for power, right? So this is how it's going to work. Okay, so the synergy groups below can get blessings this season. These are the best synergy groups. So Avengers, Deviants, Blessings, and Phantom Blessings. So unfortunately, if you have not been building these, then you're going to be a little bit out of luck, especially as free to play, as these buffs are fairly big and they can do quite a bit of damage and protection to you and your allies. So let's take a quick look here. You guys can see here what's going on. See, these are the people that are defeated. These are the people that are around, etc. Right? So if you look here, let's see, I'm right over here. Okay, so my goal is to get up to there and then move on. That's kind of the purpose here. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you guys my setup, okay? And then you guys can see how this works. As you guys go along, you'll get these quests you must accomplish, and they will give you quite a bit of rewards actually. So make sure you're on this and you're actually doing this, because this event is not happening all the time and it's something you don't want to miss out on. So let's talk a little bit about the actual defensive lineup. So here, when you set up your defense, you're going to have two teams, okay? So first off, you're going to want to put as many of these blessings as you can, at least one unit from each squad if you can afford it, in your battle zone, okay? So when you have an Avenger deployed, their attack increased by 100%. If you're running a full Avengers team, this is going to dominate for you, because you're going to have quite a bit of this blessing going on. Remember, it's only the synergy for the Avengers that get affected by this. And as for Deviants, when a Deviant synergy mates are deployed, their max HP is increased by 200%. So in my case, Mastima here is a Deviant. That's right, he is. He's going to have 200%. You can see here the little bonus icon right there. Right now, let's just say I wanted to take out Dorbella here, and I want to put on like one of these Avengers here. You'll see that bonus now apply to Albert, right? And Persephone, etc. Right? So keep that in mind when you're building this. You can easily tell in your squad who exactly is going to have it. Now for me personally, my synergy matters more than some of these buffs. Now if you have a Phantom, it increases their damage boost by 100%, which is even better than, in my opinion, than the attack at 100%, because damage boost is a raw stat that will be only ignored by damage reduction, and that's a lot more rare than defense. So keep that in mind when you're building this team. Now, relics, I'll do a full relic guide on this. Obviously, the relics you want to focus on are the ones that pertain to your synergy. So for me, you can see ethereal, and then I have this one here that's set up for Mystifiers, and that's for Thalos specifically. And then if you look at Team 2, my team has one Avenger in there with Solomon, right? And then I have Macaria, which I don't unfortunately have the proper talent set up for her, Elune, Themis, and so I set up a little bit of a different team here. So I went with Valinators with one tank in there to take advantage of the tank taunt, and then of course my relics are also pertaining to that, including the Avenger there. So that's kind of how you want to set up your team. Even if you don't match these season blessings, it's not the end of the world. You can still do well if you have the proper challenges. Now I'm going to do a quick match here. You can see I'm fighting Avengers, so they're going to have a bonus buff all across the board. And then you can see here the next one is Ethereals, which I'll have a complete advantage over because mine are better. So right here in this fight, I overpower this opponent by a lot. So, but what would have normally happened here is the Avengers would probably have beaten this team if it was similar outcome, okay, in terms of power. But of course, my power is way higher, so this is not going to be a problem. And then the second team, I definitely would have won here. Actually, not necessarily. Yeah, you know what? I probably would have won here because I think the Valinators, my Valinators are better than his Ethereals. So that's how you want to set up your attack and your defense. You want to make sure that you take advantage of the season bonuses as much as you can. Now, every season's going to be different. Keep that in mind. So just because you don't have the season units this season doesn't mean they're going to be the same next season. So don't worry about it. They rotate these all the time for people to have advantage and be able to use what they've been working on rather than struggling to complete an entire synergy just to have it not be usable in any of these events. So don't worry about it. Again, guys, if you guys are struggling with this event, it's part of how it's going to work. You're brand new to this game. We're all brand new to this game, and our teams are not fully built. So by the time the next one rolls around, you probably will be working on a second team or some units within those synergies that will help you accomplish your goal. So we're going to go ahead and go through this a little bit. Okay, we're going to quick match all the way through, and we're going to see what the promotion looks like, what you get from it, and all the rewards that come along with it. Okay, just so everyone's at least on the same page and understand how to run. Now, right now, the main thing for you guys realistically is looking at the opponent's team when you set up your offense. Okay, so when you're setting up your offense, you want to see what the opponent's running, and then you want to find the weaknesses to their team, right? So don't just blatantly copy your defensive team. If you, like, for example, here, look, they have 3 Avengers. We know 1, 2, 3, for example, are going to get buff up. I have one over here with my Deviant, and then he has one Deviant as well, too, which is going to get the buff. But here's the thing. He doesn't have him leveled up in talent tree enough to get that bonus. That's why you don't see it there, right? So keep that in mind. Talents matter a lot. If you don't have your talent leveled up, the opponent won't get that buff, all right? And that's how you should really gauge. Like, look at their buffs, look at your buffs, look at your CP, look at their CP, and be like, okay, can I tackle this and beat these guys? Same thing with this one over here, right? You want to make sure that your CP is higher. If you guys aren't running any bonuses, if yours is higher, chances are you're going to win. But make sure you use the proper team with the proper synergy. Don't just throw random powerful units in, because without the proper synergy, guys, you're not gonna do well in these modes. Synergy in this game means more than anything else. You guys could use epics against legendaries and win with the proper synergies. I promise you. I've done it. I've seen it happen on my free-to-play account, and it's just shows that this game isn't a, like, yes, it is like a whale den where whales will obviously dominate because they'll have all the synergies a lot faster than you guys, but it also shows that free-to-play versus dolphins or free-to-play versus like smaller spenders, free-to-play can absolutely dominate if they choose the right path for their setup. And also they take advantage of the blessings. And if they don't have the blessings, they just have the proper synergies in place. All right, so let's keep going here. We're now got 6 out of 7. So we got 3 more matches to go. Okay, so you can see here I'm going all the way to the top. We're all the way up. Oh, man, I'm just thinking that song now. Nothing can stop me. Okay, let's go. We're going to keep going through here. So I hope you guys get the gist of it. And this same aspect applies to PvP regular mode. Like, you're going to fight a lot of whales. So if you're not a whale in this game, guys, and you're free to play, Arena, as you should know if you've been a gacha player for quite some time, that whales will always dominate Arena. It's not really the forte or the place for free to play to shine. Free to play to shine mostly in events like this, where it is PvP, but it's multiple teams. And again, you won't be fighting whales most of the time. Sometimes you'll fight dolphins or minnows, which are smaller spenders, obviously. And then really, like, where you're going to shine the most is going to be progression for your own account in PvE mode. So whether that's storyline, whether that's Palace of Penrose, the Labyrinth, whatever the case may be, it's always important to note that don't stress out if you're not winning in PvP. You are going to do just fine once you give this game some more time, right? So whales always, win out in the beginning, but as free to play, it's something that you will always, if you're patient enough, you'll outplay, but most whales will quit and move on to the next game. Most free to play stick around because they put a lot of time investment into this, and they usually will get ahead because of power creep, new releases, smart gameplay, etc. Whatever the case may be. And some whales will continue dominating because they love the game. Anyways, guys, hope this mode helped. As you can see here, we moved up now. Now we're going on to the retention zone. So I need another 9 more to move along. So this is what you guys do. You just keep moving up here, get your quest out of the way. You can see here you're getting yourself quite a few rewards here, and then make your promotions out of the way and get your Yggdrasil treasures, and then move on. Okay, so you can see here you get some gear as well too, which is kind of nice. So for new players or even players who have not been spending and need gear, this is going to be a great place for you to get some gear and move along in your power scaling as well, right? Because gear makes a big difference. If you have not checked it out, check out my how to get power video that I dropped today. It'll explain all the different ways to do it, and gear was one of the top ones that you definitely want to focus on. All right, guys, this is Payne. I won't bore you anymore. On to the next video. We'll do a labyrinth and a tier list coming up. I think the tier list will do validators first, because I do enjoy that the most. We'll do a tier list in terms of which ones are the best ones to put on your teams if you plan to run them, and then we'll continue going through that tier list synergy the more and more we go through these days. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.